Hi, I'm Libby, and my family has always been musical. From my great-grandparents to me. We play instruments, we sing, compose, and have fun. There's a story about my great-grandmother when she was in the hospital recovering from tuberculosis. She wrote a song without piano. I don't know how she did it, but the music was just rolling in her head, and she managed to put it on paper. There's another story about my great-uncle Jim. When he was about 7 years old, he took my great-grandmother's sheet music and sold it to the neighbors for 10 cents. My great-grandmother was so embarrassed that she made him return all of the money and take back the sheet music. Today, my mom and dad are the lead singers in a country band called Point Five. There's guitar, mandolin, bass, fiddle, and voice. And my sisters and I all know how to play piano. I hope to continue the tradition someday. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Reagan Schutte, and this is my storytelling story. Approximately 100 years ago, none of us were alive, yet my great-great-great-uncles were. They both did something amazing. That's why I'm here to tell their story. So let's begin at the beginning. The story begins in a small house near the edge of the woods in where we are today, Mineral Point, Wisconsin. In that small house, two boys were playing nicely with their wooden toy trucks, completely ignoring their sister who was playing with her wooden horse. Their parents were reading. The boys' names were Homer and Lee Parkinson. Homer was 9 and Lee was 6, just like me and my sister. Back then, the boys didn't know that when they were in their 20s, they wouldn't play at all. They would fight in World War I. Now I have to fast forward through time, or we'll never get this story done. I'll fast forward to when they heard a war was breaking out due to the assassination of Archduke Ferdinand of Austria. It was Germany, Austria, Hungary, and the Ottoman Empire versus Great Britain, the US, France, Italy, Russia, and Japan. The boys immediately signed up for their justice and got in. They headed straight to France, but different parts of it. They both waited at their bases for 3 days before they went to the trenches. They quickly went down. Suddenly, Homer heard a loud gunshot. He knew the war had begun. Quite a few miles away, Lee heard and knew the same thing. The war had begun. They got up, shot a few times, and then went back down. They did that hundreds of times before they went back to their bases that day. They did that for 5 years straight before this happened. It was the anniversary of the day they went to the trenches the first time. Homer was shooting, but then suddenly felt a terrible pain. He fell to the ground and his soul rose up to heaven. The letter that he was reported missing went to Mineral Point and to his brother. Sadly, the letter did not make it for Lee, for he felt the same pain and his soul rose up to heaven too, just 5 days after. 2 days later, they were reported dead, and that Homer was found with his notebook, a first aid kit, and a few other things. Their parents were heartbroken. The sister was the same, except even sadder. She had lost her 2 brothers. She thought of all the memories she had with him, especially the one when the boys were playing with their 2 trucks, totally ignoring her, just like I said at the start. That was probably her favorite memory. And still today, my family remembers them, and that is why I told their story. Thank you.